Yes, Swati? Yeah. Now, the next is types of demand.
Ma'am, it's finished yesterday.
I'm finished, ma'am, yesterday.
Yesterday we finished this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Elasticity
Types of demand are finished.
Yes, ma?
You have completed this.
This topic is finished yesterday.
Elasticity of demand.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So till here, yesterday we have finished.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, elasticity of demand.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mute your mics, all of you.
Okay.
So take the screenshot, ma.
I can video.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because mute time and chupna. Otherwise, I'll only mute all of you. That is better. Now, the next is elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand means where it is a demand defined. Elasticity of demand definition, the demand contrast or extends with rising or falling in price. Rising or falling in the prices. Okay. And whenever the quality of the demand is also called the quality, not the quantity, quality. When is the quality of demand is called elasticity of demand. When there is a change in the virtue of the price changes, that is whether it is a low or the high, then there is a very sensitive, a small or less elasticity of demand. Means if you are taking less, or if the cost is very less, demand is more, means supply will also more. And the cost is more, demand is less, means supply also less. So when it is whether it is a contrast, the demand for the contrast is all extended, the rising and falling in the prices. That is called the rise or fall in the prices is called the elasticity of demand. Now, we'll take one example to understand it. That is, if we have salt, even a big fall in the demand cannot affect the fall in the appreciable. If a salt you have needed, the price of the fall, it comes down, there is no effect. It cannot affect the fall of its appreciable extension in the demand. Similarly, when you observe that fall in the prices of oranges, there will be demand. Yes, considerable change in its demand. So here, whether it is increases or decreases, but is perfectly elasticity or inelasticity. If they ask elasticity of demand, means this much is enough. Means that is a contrast for extending with the rising or falling in the prices. That's it. Whether it may be the low price changes, the low or the high. That is called the elasticity of demand. And now we'll take the types of elasticity of demand. There are 4 types of elasticity of demand. First one is a price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand means it always shows the relationship between the price and quantity. Got my point? It always shows a relationship between the price and the quantity, where it provides a calculator that is a price effect. Price affect the quantity of demand also. And next is below the equation where it is a proportionate change in quantity demand divided by proportionate change in price. It is a formula for price elasticity of demand. It is very sensitively, it is particularly, there is along with the changes in the prices. Got my point? So in this price elasticity of demand, it has a types: perfectly elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand, relatively elastic of demand, relatively inelasticity of demand, unitary elasticity of demand. So these all are the 5 types. Next is a income elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand means it is one factor where is demand for product. Okay. And there is a change in demand for the product, change in demand for due changes. Means inelasticity. Means here percentage change in demand for the product, percentage change in income. Demand for the product, change in the income. Means whether it is the income increases or the decreases. So if your income is more, the demand will be more. If your income is low, then the demand will be less. And next is a cross elasticity of demand. It is defined as a change in the quantity of demand for one commodity to change in the quantity of demand also. When there is a cross elasticity of demand, if it is defined as the change in the quantity of demand for one commodity to change in the quantity. Means one product is changing the demand, means other will also change the demand. So that is cross. The quantity of demand for one commodity changes, the other, another also commodity also changes. That is cross, making the cross. So this type of demand arises with the involvement of interrelated goods. Interrelated goods such as substitutes and the complementary goods, both. Okay. For example, this is a one is a proportionate change in purchase of commodity divided by proportionate change in purchase of commodity Y. Means proportionate change in the product Y means then that is it is a X. Proportionate change in purchase of commodity X divided by the proportionate change in purchase of commodity Y. For example, if you have 2 commodities, so that you have to substitute. When one price of one commodity falls down, the demand for another commodity decreases. Understood? If the X price falls down, the demand for Y will also decreases. So if the price of one commodity rises, so does the price of another, such as the tea or the coffee. One comes down means the other will come up. When demand falls means price will goes up. Is it clear? Then fourth one is advertising elasticity of demand. It is defined as the responsiveness of the change in demand to change in proportional expenses. Means always the demand changes with the expenses. Is also known as the advertising elasticity. So when you have the more responsiveness of changes in demand, and there is also promotional changes in the expenses. So this is called the advertising elasticity of demand. So it can also be expressed in the following formula, that is proportionate change in demand proportionate demand proportionate divided by change in advertising expenses. Got my point? This question you can write it down. Define elasticity of demand. Define elasticity of demand. Explain the types of elasticity of demand. Explain the types of elasticity of demand. Yes. Are you there, ma? You can all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So did you write the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Define elasticity of
Yes,
demand.
ma'am.
Explain the types
Explain
of
the
elasticity
types
of
of-
demand.
Okay, madam.
So did you have taken the screenshot?
Yes,
One
ma'am.
slide,
Yes.
2,
Yes, ma'am.
3.
Yes.
Yes.
Next is the demand forecasting.
మ్యూట్ చేయండి అందరూ.
Mute your mics. Naveen, Preethi, Rahul, Yamini,
Nena.
Anura.
Ma'am, please resend the third page.
Nama?
అయిపోయింది మేడం.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll see the demand forecasting. Means here the art of predicting. Art of predicting means before only you'll be knowing about your future. Yeah. Suppose if you example tomatoes, the costly it is a kg 70 rupees. So when slightly it is increases the demand and the price is increases, then what happened? You will be predicting, in the future again the market is going up, so we cannot get. So you will be adjust with that only. That is predicting the demand for a service or the product in the future market is known as a demand forecasting. Means predicting in the future market how it will be. So this forecast is based on historical data, that is past customers' behavior. So past customers, the people will be asking, means the demand. So here, whatever the customers, that is whatever we are predicting, that is based on the historical, that is customer behavior. Before the customer, whatever that. So where we can take that example of gold. So when my mother's marriage was held, at that time the gold rate is 200. Is it clear? It is a 200.
Yes, ma'am.
When I got
Yes, ma'am.
married, the gold rate is 6,000.
Yes.
Now, how the days I can predict. Hey, when it is 200, now it is comes to the 6,000.
Yes.
Afterwards, when it increases to 10,000, we are predicting. So the people who are that is historically, we can make it, that is a customer behavior trends, that is a present market. So now mute your mics, all of you.
Ma'am, mirror turn, ma'am, please.
Preethi? Preethi, mute your mic. So when the gold rate, it is slightly goes on increasing, means everyone predicted it is an art. Oh, now it's not going to stop. So we'll buy more and more. So the people, when it started increasing the gold cost, when they are all are keeping in, means they are buying and preserving. Now the rate has come to the 55,000 or 50,000. Got my point? So
Yes,
like that,
ma'am.
it is a where the people, that is a present market. In short, it is the scientific estimation of future. Scientific estimation. When the gold rate has come to the 15,000, it is estimated that people has estimated that is in future the demand of the product is going to be very high. It is going to be high. That is merely guessing it. It is merely guessing it. So it also gives the crucial insight into the cash flow, the risk maintenance, that is budgeting, margin, inventory, turnover, and more. So these all are guessing also makes the so no, there is a inventory, that is a turnover. Inventory turnover means stock has more increased. So then the more. Next. Now, what are the objectives of demand for? So here, objectives of demand forecasting. The demand forecasting has a great importance. Means predicting. That is the importance and purpose in the business planning. Wow, you are going to. And an accurate demand forecasting helps the company in number of ways. It is when you are predicting, that is future cost, that is a forecasting about the demand of your product, then it will be very helpful for your business. So that is it helps the company to produce the required quantity. And when you come to know that the quantity, the supply, the demand is going to increase, the price is going to increase, when you are predicting, so the company has to make the required quantities of the product at the time and arrange the various factors of production. What are the factors of production? Land, labor.
Land, labor, and capital.
The
Land, labor, capital.
Capital organization.
so now that is it also help. First one is where it is required quantities of the product at the right time. Means when it is needed, the product is needed. If the company produces, then there will be fulfill the satisfy their wants. And it is also help a company to estimate, even if when it is goes on increasing. So the company can estimate that is a future demand for its product and plan its production. And the purpose. Now we'll see what are the types of forecasting. First one is formulation of production policy, regular supply of material, maximum utilization of machines. So price policy formulation, regular availability of labor, proper control of sales, arrangement of finance.
Ma'am, is this an important question for exam?
Yes, someone is asking me something.
Is this an important question for exam?
We cannot expect. I can't say which one is important like that. So you have to go through the sightings, ma, and you try to elaborate your answers.
Okay.
In economics, we cannot expect which one will be the important. So that we have to go through. And next is a formulation of production policy. Formulation of production policy means what? Sales forecasts, that is in future. That helps in the formulating suitable production. There is a policy. Where it is a demand and supply, where is a gap? There may not be any gap between demand and supply of products. That is a formulation. When is you are making the forecast about your sales. And regular supply of material, regular supply. When you're determining the desired volume, whatever the volume of the production, which is based on the sales forecast. So one can evaluate the necessary raw material, whatever that is, whatever the necessary raw material required in future, that you will be getting, and continuous supply of raw material also will be made. That is controlling the size of inventory. That is economic level. That is regular. If you stop, if you're not taking the raw material, then it will be the when it is a cost is high means when the price of the product increases, then whatever the supply of raw material you have, then it will be useful. Okay. And the maximum utilization of machine. Yes, maximum. That is whatever the machines you have, the capacity that you have to plan according to the utilization or to the maximum capacity. And the price policy formulation. When the sales forecast, when you are making the forecast of your sales, enable the management to formulate, that is appropriate pricing mechanisms, so that the level of prices does not affect. When you are making the price of formulation, when you are making in such a way that price does not fluctuate, it will not go up and down, it will not lead to the depression of inflation. That is, does not fluctuate too much in the period of depressions. And next one is a regular availability of labor. Regular availability. That is skilled and unskilled. Skilled and unskilled means what? Skilled and unskilled workers. Whoever all are particular known the product, that is the knowledge about the production. Unskilled means who are only they making the things. So there is a skilled and unskilled. Who are not trained is unskilled. So that is the workers, they can be properly arranged to meet the production schedule. Whatever the production we are making, that should be arranged in a proper way. And next one is a proper control of sales. When you have a proper control of sales, that is a forecast are calculated. That is, forecasts are calculated region-wise. And then the sales targets for various territories. Means whatever the sales, it is a region-wise, the proper control of sales, region-wise the targets. So suppose the product which you have produced, that product may be more useful in a one particular region. So that is a region-wise it can be used. And next is a arrangement of finance. So on the basis of forecast, when your sales is forecasting, at the time you can determine the financial requirements. That is enterprises for the production of the desired output. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Rahul? Rahul?
madam. Madam.
So here everyone is there in the group?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am, no.
Huh?
Group link
Rahul,
share.
I'm sending one video.
Madam.
Just
Some members.
the other group also people are there, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Neil send just you check, ma'am. Everyone has got
Okay, madam.
the video, just you check.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam, ఏంటంటే గ్రూప్ మొత్తం
Okay,
ఫుల్
ma'am.
అయిపోయింది మేడం.
రెండు గ్రూప్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా?
ఫైనాన్షియల్ అకౌంట్ బిఆర్ఏ రెండు ఫుల్ అయిపోయినాయి మేడం.
ఓకే.
వచ్చింది మేడం.
సో ఫైనాన్షియల్ అకౌంటింగ్ లో
ఫైనాన్షియల్ అకౌంటింగ్ కూడా ఫుల్ అయిపోయింది.
Yes, ma'am. Got the video.
గ్రూప్లో వచ్చింది. రాని వాళ్ళు ఎవరు ఉంటే చెప్పండి, పంపిస్తాం.
తీసుకున్నామా స్క్రీన్ షాట్? ఆబ్జెక్టివ్స్?
Yes, ma'am.
మ్యూట్ చేయండి. Mute your mics, all of you. Next. Role and significance. After the class, you can listen the video.
Okay, ma'am. अम्मा को देना. जाके. एक्टिवा खड़ी हुई है ना? ब्लू कलर की.
Fatima? Next, what is the role and significance of elasticity of demand? So here we have the significance and the role. So in this, the first one is elasticity of demand in production. So it is a capitalist economy. Ours is a free capitalist economy that everyone is mainly depends on consumer demand. That is, production mainly depends on consumer. Suppose if I'm not interested to take that product, like me, many of the people is not interested, means there will be a obstruct for the production. And the consumer demand and the care should be taken to adjust, that is extend the demand. So you have to make the demand for your product. And then next is the elasticity is the concept. Elasticity is also concept, means what is the elasticity of demand, where it is a increasing or decreasing in the prices. Got my point? That is a concept which enables the producers to correct the decision regarding the quantum that is based on the demand. If you are not having the proper demand for the production, so there also the producer have to take care of the production to increase the demand for the product. Got my point? And the next,
Yes, ma'am.
elasticity of demand in price fixation. So how you have to fix the price? First, the people has to think that, yes, it is a very less cost and the product is very good. So every seller, means suppose if I am selling the product, so that should be under imperfect competition and monopoly. What is the meaning of monopoly? What is the meaning of monopoly?
Mono means price. Single seller. And
Monopoly, can
Single
anyone tell
seller.
me?
Single seller.
Yes, only single seller. Means the single seller, if the person is selling only one person, that is a competition, and monopoly, where it has considered the elasticity of demand for his product. And when he was fixing the price, the contemplates the changes the prices. Because suppose if you are going for taking one product, you are in the quote, you have bought the same quality, same product, same product. If you go to the lifestyle, here from the Koti, you have bought, so that is for 1,000 rupees. The same product, the quality, everything in the lifestyle, it comes to 5,000 rupees. Why? Why that fixation of the prices makes demand the frame, elasticity of demand? Because the rich people, where they go to that place. Yes.
ma'am,
So
once
they make
repeat.
that. Yes, ma'am.
Once repeat, ma'am. Once repeat this point, ma'am.
Here, every seller is imperfect competition and the monopoly. So here, monopoly means different. Ma, just Yasmin,
Yes, ma'am.
just off your mic.
Okay, ma'am.
So here, every seller is a monopoly. And where is elasticity of demand? The product when you are fixing, that is the price. Fixes the price or the contemplates, that is change the price. So here, one product I went to the market, to the Koti or somewhere, I brought the product for 1,000 rupees. They same quality, same product. If I go and see in the lifestyle, he charges for 5,000. Why? The demand in that place is more. The response in demand due to the change in price. That is means the person, he has to see the all the expenses. That is electricity, the worker salaries, everything he has to clap in that product and he has to sell in the market. That is a quantity demanded. That is a revenue where is realized by him depends on the quantity demanded in the market. If the price is fixation, this concept is made use for not only in a perfect competition but also in a monopoly. Means the monopolist can fix the price only on the basis of elasticity of demand. Means only one single seller means he can fix. But if you are the market, it is going expanding that market, then elasticity of demand also increases. Is it clear? Now, next is a elasticity of demand in distribution. Is elasticity of demand in distribution means the concept of elasticity of demand, where it has a important role. It plays a very important role in the determination of the rewards. That is factors of production. That is price enterprises economy. For example, if the demand of labor is very elastic, nowadays, if you are going and asking the labor means for half day is charging the 700. So there is a demand for distribution, the elasticity. That is effort of trade union to increase the wages will not meet the success. So when they go for the demand, the employees, then they have to go with the increase with the wages. Got my point? Elasticity of demand in that is in the international trade. So there is a particularly where you are taking the demand for two countries, the product is considered, the demand is also more. The term trade, very intense it is, the demand for two countries, the same product when you are selling, the demand will be more. Suppose our product is more demand in the international market and their demand, the product is more demand in our market. Then elasticity of demand in foreign exchange, even it's a rate of exchange between the two currencies. Now, if you see the dollar and the pound, it is also makes the demand in the changes. Nowadays, when you see the stock exchange, when stock exchange comes to an end, when it decreases, at the time decreases, the dollar rate, the means suppose if the dollar rate increases means immediately the stock exchange decreases. Means when the demand, the stock exchange falls down, the rate of dollars will comes up. Like that, it has made the changes in the currency. So the currency of the two countries mainly depends upon the elasticity of demand, that is export and import. And the next one is elasticity of demand in nationalizing and industry, where we are the concept, where we are studying about the concept of the demand, that elasticity of demand is used with the enable the government to decide, whether the industry can be declared the public utility, that is nationalization, nationalized. So nowadays we have some of the industries that is nationalized by the government and it is become under the control of government. If the demand is inelastic for the product of a monopolistic concern, so it is very clearly declared that is a public utility. And next is a elasticity of demand in public finance. So here that is also finance minister, where he has to formulate for the taxation, that is economic policies. And even he has to impose the tax as taxes on a commodity. Nowadays, when you go to the each and every product in the market, they will tell that the tax is, they're also taking the tax on the products. Is it clear? So that is a elasticity of demand of the commodity should be carefully studied to find out the effect of taxation. Suppose yesterday I have made only one class. I have the PPT, everything. So I didn't means what we say. The taxation. So that is the elasticity of demand, where you are making the taxes, paying the taxes. So when you are going to the market and when you are purchasing, so each and every product they are taxing, that is a GST, they are also correcting from the product. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Demand over forecast is over. Now, methods in the demand for forecasting. It is based on economy. The other one is based on period. It is classified into two. One is the economy. Economy what? Micro level forecasting and industry level forecasting, firm level forecasting. So here, what is a macro? Macro, it is always based on economic environment, not inside. And which is also related to the economy as a calculated by the index, where the industrial production, that is IIP. National income and the general level employments also, they will make. Macro means very big, that is complete economic environment. And next is industrial level forecasting. So here always it deals with the demand, where it is issue of the industries. And whatever the demand for the cement in India, and even at the same time demand for the clothing, demand for clothes in India. So it is an industrial level, they will be making all. And third one is a firm level forecasting. Firm level forecasting is what? That is a major type of a forecasting. That is firm level forecasting means that need to forecast the demand. That is specific firm's product means always you have. So how can we make the specific demand? Means demand for Birla cement, demand for Raymond cloths, Is it right? So whenever we are going to the shop, they'll say that, madam, this is a SHIVAM, this is a Raymond's. So by the name, by the brand, so where you are making this all the firm, that is the demand for forecasting. Next is based on the time forecasting. Here, based on time, maybe either in the short term forecasting or the long term forecasting, both of them. So here, short term forecasting, it is generally covers a short period. It is generally for the short period. So here, first one is the short term forecasting. It is generally where you are staying in the industry, and it is less than 6 months and more than 1 year. And your next is a long-term forecasting. That is generally it is a short term. Now it is a long term. Long term means it is a more than 10 years. So it can be from 2 to 5 years or more. It gives the detail for major strategic decisions. That is a before. We can consider the example of expansion. Example of the expansion. So that is a long term where you can have the unit of industry, etc. Is understood?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the first steps? Steps to be used for demand forecasting. First, you have to collect the objective. Then you have to demand period. Third one is selecting a demand forecasting method, collection of data, evaluation of data. So here these are the 5 types.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No.
Have you taken the screenshot?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
So now, steps also you have taken. Explain the steps
Yes,
used in the
ma'am.
forecasting.
Yes, ma'am.
First you have to set, then you have to determine, then you have to forecast it, and then you have to collect the data. And last is the evaluation. Any more? You want to ask me? So with this, we have finished our second unit. It's also over. So in next class, we'll meet. With this, we have finished the second block. Are you hearing my voice now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So in the next class, we are going to start with the third unit.
Okay, madam.
Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
And do the homework which I gave.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Homework ma'am is given.
మేడం జిల్లాలో కొట్టింది. ఇంకా 7 minutes ఉంది. హలో చందు, ఆర్ యు దేర్? చందు, no classes here now. All classes are over for BCom General.
Which class?
Yes, economics, business economics. Over.
Which class?
వాయిస్ చిన్నగా వస్తుంది.
English class?
ఇంగ్లీష్ క్లాస్ లేదని కూడా లిటరేచర్ ఉంది.
బ్రో ప్రాక్టికల్స్ గురించి ఏమైనా ఐడియా ఉందా మీకు? ఇప్పటి నుంచి ఉండే ప్రాక్టికల్స్
ఏమో డేట్ వచ్చిందంట, అటెండ్ కానీ వాళ్ళు 3 days
21 కే అని చెప్పారు నాకు కూడా. అదే అర్థమైతే
22 గురించి
ప్రాక్టికల్స్ అటెండ్ అవ్వాలా?
ఏమో
లేదంటే ప్రాక్టికల్ అటెండ్
ఎగ్జామ్స్ ఇంకా డేట్ రాలేదు.
Okay.
సిలబస్ అయిపోతే డేట్స్ వస్తాయి. సిలబస్ కానీ డేట్స్ పెట్టరు కదా.
Okay.
అదే అందరూ అడుగుతారు ఎగ్జామ్స్
ఏంటి మళ్ళీ చెప్పు.
అడుగుతున్నారా లేకపోతే అర్థమవుతుంది?
మళ్ళీ చెప్పు బ్రో. ఏమన్నా
ఏది
Exams
ప్రాక్టికల్ గురించి?
ప్రాక్టికల్సా ఏమో ఎవరు అన్నారు 22 నుంచి వెళ్ళి స్టార్ట్ అయిందని చెప్పారు. ఈ మంత్ 22కి ఏమో
22 అని చెప్పారు, నాకు 21 అని చెప్పారు బ్రో.
అదే 21, 22 స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయని చెప్పారు. అటెండ్ కాని వాళ్ళు మరి అది
ప్రాక్టికల్స్ ఎప్పుడు
కాలేజ్ కనుక్కోండి ఒకసారి.
బ్రో మా కాలేజ్
వాళ్ళు
మా కాలేజ్ అసలు లెక్చరర్ కాల్ ఇచ్చాడు, ఏం చేయడు, అడ్మిషన్ ఒక్కటి చేశాడు. ఇప్పుడు ఏమున్నాయి కూడా తెలియట్లేదు నాకు. కొంచెం హెల్ప్ చేయ బ్రో. ఏం చేయాలి? ప్రాక్టికల్స్ ఎప్పుడు ఉంటాయి? ఎగ్జామ్ ఫీజు పే చేయాలి.
కాలేజ్ ఎవరు లేరా? మామూలుగా కాలేజీకి వెళ్తే సార్స్ అట్లా
ఉన్నారు బ్రో, కానీ వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఆయన ఉండడు, ఫోన్ చేస్తే లిఫ్ట్ చేయడు.
అంటే ఇంకా వేరే వాళ్ళు లేరా?
వేరే ఒక్కసారే ఉన్నాడు ఆ కాలేజ్ లో. అడ్మిషన్ అన్ని చేశాడు.
లేకపోతే ఒకసారి సీనియర్స్ ఎవరైనా అడిగి చూడండి ఒకసారి. ఆ కాలేజ్ సీనియర్స్ ఎవరైనా తెలిసి ఉంటాయి, వాళ్ళకి తెలిసి ఉంటుంది.
వాళ్ళకి తెలిసిందా? ప్రాక్టికల్ కి మస్ట్ అండ్ అటెండ్ అవ్వాలా?
చెప్పలేము, అది అటెండ్ అయితే బెస్ట్ అని అనుకుంటున్నా.
అటెండ్ మీరు అటెండ్ అయ్యారా? ఫస్ట్ సెమ్మే కదా ఇప్పుడు ఇది.
ప్రాక్టికల్స్ కాదు, నేను జనరల్ నాది.
అంటే నాది జనరలే
బ్రో. జనరల్ కి ప్రాక్టికల్స్ ఉండవా?
కంప్యూటర్స్
ఒకరి తర్వాత ఒకరు అన్నీ మాట్లాడండి.
ఇన్నూరు ఒకసారి జనరల్ కి ప్రాక్టికల్స్
కన్ఫర్మ్ లేదు, అందుకే అని చెప్పేసి.
బ్రో జనరల్ గ్రూప్ కి ప్రాక్టికల్స్ ఉన్నాయా లేవా?
కంప్యూటర్స్ వాళ్ళకి ఉన్నాయి అనుకుంటా. కంప్యూటర్స్ ఉంటారు కదా జనరల్ వాళ్ళు.
పెద్ద కంప్యూటర్స్ కాదన్నా, జనరల్ గ్రూప్ అంటున్నా నేను.
జనరల్ లేదనుకుంటా. అదే జనరల్ ఓన్లీ కంప్యూటర్స్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళకే ఉంటది. మనకు ల్యాబ్ ఎందుకు ఉంటుంది జనరల్ వాళ్ళకి? కామర్స్ మొత్తం ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి.
ఇంకోటి బేసిక్స్ కూడా ఏం అర్థమైతలేదు బ్రో. ఏం చెప్తారు అసలు? ఏం అర్థమైతలేదు నాకు.
కోర్స్ మెటీరియల్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేస్తే ఆల్రెడీ ఆప్టెడ్ కోర్స్ మెటీరియల్ వస్తుంది బ్రో.
ఇంపార్టెంట్ వస్తలేవు కదా.
స్టూడెంట్ అడ్మిషన్ అండ్ ఎగ్జామ్ డీటెయిల్స్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసా బ్రో.
అసలు ఏం అర్థమైతలేదు
బ్రో. స్టూడెంట్ డీటెయిల్స్ లో వెళ్ళి
మెటీరియల్స్ తీసుకోవాలి కదా.
స్టూడెంట్
ఉన్నాయి కదా బ్రో. స్టూడెంట్ అడ్మిషన్స్ అండ్ ఎగ్జామ్ డీటెయిల్స్ లో డౌన్లోడ్ చేసా బ్రో నేను.
అవును.
దాంతో వచ్చేసి ట్యూషన్ ఫీ పేడ్ వచ్చేసింది. ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ పేడ్ వచ్చింది. ఆప్షనల్ డీటెయిల్స్ దగ్గర కామర్స్, ఆప్షనల్ 2 కామర్స్, ఆప్షనల్ 3 కామర్స్ అనేది.